welcome to the Tri-County Regional Black Chamber of Commerce Let's Talk Business podcast. Today, I'm excited. I get to sit next to Miss Leondria Thompson, the president of the chamber.
It's so exciting, huh?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm excited. I'm always excited to sit and talk to you.
Well, the feeling is mutual.
Awesome. So before we get started, we're going to go ahead and thank our sponsors. Southwest Airlines is a proud air travel sponsor of Tri-County Regional Black Chamber of Commerce. We'd also like to thank Premicore Business Solutions. So we got a lot to talk about. I think there's been a lot of great stuff going on.
Yes, a lot of great stuff. We're preparing for 2021.
I think we all should be preparing for 2021. Anybody who is not, I think they're just preparing for nothing. But but we are definitely prepared. We're getting in readiness mode.
Yes,
for sure.
Exactly.
I know that we talked a little bit. I know that there's a lot of stuff going on, but to get started, how was a meet and greet? Because I didn't get a chance to go and do the one for Galveston.
Galveston meet and greet was fantastic.
Awesome.
I don't have the number of people that showed up, but it was a full house.
Nice.
And we changed up a little bit on the question and answering part. So we had a chance to speak to each person one-on-one.
Okay.
And everybody introduced themselves.
How nice.
Yeah, we didn't do that.
Yeah.
Sorry, Paula, but you'll get another chance.
Okay.
But that was good. It was really good. Everybody knew who was in the audience.
Well, that was cool. So you had a really good turnout.
Yes,
and it was nice. You got to meet a lot of cool people down there doing great things.
Got to meet a lot of cool people and recruited.
Nice.
Yeah, I think we did a very good job of recruiting for lifetime members and alliance members.
Well, good. I'm glad. I was excited. I was sorry that I missed that one, but I was like, okay, this is going to be good. So we're
we got another one coming.
Got another one coming up. So the next one coming up is the October 12th, correct?
No, it's October 24th.
Oh, 24th?
Yes, it did move down.
Okay. So I'm trying to think. So October 24th, and that one's for Fort Bend.
Mm-hmm. Fort Bend County.
Fort Bend County and the Holiday Inn, and that's with so that's Region 2.
Yes, Region 2. Well, Region 2 has 3 counties.
Yes.
Galveston, Brazoria, and Fort Bend.
Mm-hmm.
And they're still so encompassing a lot of cities in those counties. So we had to basically break them up.
Yeah.
Because we have a vice president for Brazoria.
Mm-hmm.
We did the meet and greet for Galveston County, which the vice president for Galveston County, Lucretia, known as Bobby Holman.
I was like, I gotta figure out that name.
and Brazoria, these are all Region 2.
Okay.
And Brazoria County is Hugh Gardner.
Mm-hmm.
And then Fort Bend County is Oliver and Cuckoo.
Yeah, that's fun.
Yeah. So that's the one we're going to have on the 24th of October.
All right, cool. I'm excited. Getting prepared. So we need to save the date, October 24th, for Fort Bend meet and greet.
Yes.
Have the opportunity for people to just come out. You can start getting your tickets now. They just go to tcbcc.org and go for events.
Well, they need to register.
Register.
Yeah.
You can register for the event now.
It's a free meet and greet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And you get to hang out and meet some great people. And we also get to, anybody who hasn't met Miss Leondria Thompson at this point, it is really important that you come and show up because it's time to meet her. I mean, she's doing great things.
I'm going to be in disguise.
No,
they don't see me now. They won't know who I am then.
There's no disguise that will be able to take away from the power that you have in a room. So, just everybody should just register for that event, October 24th. Okay, so how important is a meet and greet, though?
Well, meet and greet is very important because it provides visibility of the chamber.
Okay.
So if you live in one of the counties that we serve 12 counties.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody cannot be in one place or 12 places at the same time. And so it provides access to the chamber by having a vice president in that county or in that region. So it gives the person who lives in that county, who's doing business in that county, and become a member of the chamber, to be able to have someone they could immediately reach out to. So you want to know who that person is. And you get to meet other people who also not only just live, work, or have a business in that county, They also meet other members who come
Right.
because it's an opportunity for members to network with each other and learn what another member does because our service area is 12 counties. Within a few years, it will actually move to 18.
Hmm.
That gives our members a market reach.
Right.
They can do business in 12 to 18 counties.
That's cool. Okay, so I think I just had a light bulb moment. So that means that the meet and greet is not necessarily only for meeting the leadership of the chamber. It is actually meant so that other members can come out and meet one another and be able to forge relationships inside the chamber and allow them to be able to work together.
Exactly. Yeah, we have people as far as Jasper County
Mm-hmm.
that was in Galveston,
Right.
and then they will be in Fort Bend because again, they're creating business relationships.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
See,
So
I did not think about that. When this whole entire time we've been doing meet and greets, I 100% thought, okay, it was just, I only looked at it in one facet that said, I'm just there to meet the leadership and see what they're having, what they can offer to the surrounding, to the county that they support.
Mhm.
But it's actually meant to be able to meet other people that you can do business with, in which I never really thought about that.
Yeah, it says networking.
Yeah, I know. But everybody's networking is they're not all created equal, that's for sure. Some networking groups you go to and they just sit there and talk to you. And then other networking groups say, okay, well, we're going to literally let you network. And now I understand. I need to look at it slightly different for me. I didn't look at it the same way.
It's a networking opportunity. And it actually really presented itself as that because when in Galveston, every person that came in the room
Mm-hmm.
introduced themselves and told what type of business they were in. So it gave someone, so we noticed that when we says, okay, time to network, and if you're not a member of the chamber, feel free to come up and we'll answer any questions you may have. You saw people getting up, going over to someone because they heard what they
were doing.
Right. And we had the state representative from Beaumont,
Nice.
from the Jefferson County area, Representative Joe Desautels. So
Look
we
at
were,
you.
yeah. So we were. So now it added another element to when we do our inviting,
Mm-hmm.
who we would like to invite, in addition to the members and non-members. So then you get to meet the board members as well.
Mm-hmm. See, that's what I said. They're gonna know who you are. That's like there's power in your box, man. I don't know if you recognize that, but there's power in that box.
All right.
Okay, so let's talk a little bit about the inauguration for Jasper County.
That is because we have brought on Region 4,
Mm-hmm.
and to kind of explain Tri-County.
Yes, please, because I got asked that question.
Yes, Tri-County
Mm-hmm.
means that we serve in groups of threes in terms of our service area.
Okay.
So instead of us saying, oh, well, we're going to Galveston County, or we're going to Brazoria, or we serve Fort Bend, no, we serve Region 2.
Right.
And Region 2 has 3 counties.
Mm-hmm.
So all of our regions have 3 counties.
Right.
And the number 3 is a very powerful number.
Mm-hmm.
And you really have to become a little spiritual to understand the 3.
Okay.
What that means. And so we know we have a foundation as to Tri-County Regional Black Chamber of Commerce. And I also wanted to say the when we make reference to Tri-County Regional Black Chamber of Commerce,
Mm-hmm.
black has nothing to do with skin color.
Correct.
It has everything to do with culture.
Yes.
And that culture can be any business owner who doesn't have access
Mm-hmm.
to information.
Right. Okay.
Doesn't have access to, or being basically the term that we use a lot is underserved.
Right. Underserved. Yes.
It's a small business that has not been served with information
Mm-hmm.
and with the access and the tools, resources
Right.
to be able to grow their business. And I know we have a lot of government organizations. We have a lot of well, I'm going to say basically government organization. When
Right.
you talk about city, state, and federal, that are there to support small business in terms of resources
Mhm.
and tools. However, what happens is, because someone mentioned it to me the other day, I don't know what to ask.
What do
If
you-
I'm looking for information,
Yes.
I don't know what to ask or
Yes.
how to ask it. So basically, and that becomes cultural.
Problematic.
Well, it's actually cultural. I mean, if you speak a different language, how would I ask you something that is that I have internalized about my business, and we can't really communicate
That's very
that?
true. That's true because I think have run into that as an issue for myself because there are times when they're like, well, what do you need? And I'm like, well, I don't know what exactly to ask. I don't know how to. I know what I need, but I don't know what question I need to ask you in order to get my needs met.
Exactly.
And I think
Exactly.
that has a lot to do with the amount of information that has been given to me over the years, which is sufficient for where I got me, but not enough to carry me to the next level.
It's what we call cultural
Yeah.
understanding.
Yes.
Okay, if you understand what a person, as a leader,
Mhm.
as a mentor, you understand the culture that the person comes from, or the culture that the person can connect to or connect. How you learn, you then begin to know how they process
Right.
information. Okay, so if they process information a certain way, and that information is based on the information they received,
Mhm.
the growing, the environment, and what does this mean? So when, again, as a leader or as a mentor, you would be able to support that person's, that the understanding that they don't have.
Right.
So then you know how to pull information
Yeah.
from them in order to give that information back to them. And now they have a question.
Yeah.
So that's, and
it.
leadership and mentorship, it doesn't necessarily mean you have to be a part of the culture or that you have to come from the culture, but you do have to understand the culture of the person that you're speaking to,
This is true.
that you're mentoring to.
I'm so glad you said that though, because there's a lot of people who are like, actually, I just encountered someone who had a conversation with me, and they're like, well, just do it like this.
Mhm.
And my friend says, okay, well, that's privilege. And I was like, yes. And the thing about it is that she said it like so off the cuff, like,
Mm-hmm.
why would you not try that? Why would you not do that? Because it doesn't work for me.
Okay.
That's why
Okay.
it doesn't work for me. So even though we think one dimensional in a way where it says, if I go outside without a coat on, I shall get cold.
Mm-hmm.
When it's cold outside. That's good. Because that works for everyone.
Not necessarily. There are some people
See?
like, ooh, I love the cold land.
Right.
Okay, you looking at them like they have on shorts
Yeah.
and flip flops,
Right.
and it's 50 degrees.
Yes.
But that's
But that and I'm saying that actually is a perfect example
mm-hmm.
of what that is, because when you think one dimensionally, you're saying, okay, if I go outside, everybody should be cold, but you will look over to the side and somebody's like, no, this is refreshing for me.
Yeah, I love to go. It's also in neighborhoods.
In neighborhoods.
Neighborhoods. When we talk about culture, it has nothing to do necessarily,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm using necessarily as a matter of a statement.
Yeah. Doesn't have to be, but mostly found.
You have society. You got society.
Yes.
And you got neighborhoods in the society. And each neighborhood has a different culture.
Yes.
And when we say culture, the exposure,
Yes.
the environment,
Mm-hmm.
the things that they see on a daily basis, that start to develop their
Their
beliefs on
routines.
well, their beliefs
Yeah.
on the information that parents are giving them, information that the next door neighbor may share, which is totally different from a mile away.
This is true. I never thought about it that way.
Okay, so this is why we say culture,
Mm-hmm.
and we focus on a culture that we understand.
Right. It's important to understand where everybody comes from, because you can't say, because I met some people over the weekend, and as she was talking, she's like, well, she was talking about her experiences and stuff, but I detected an accent. And so inside that accent, that actually let me know that the way they viewed what we were doing in the United States let me know that they were not from the United States, and that they were from Europe. Culture. And so because we don't necessarily, we kind of understand a little bit of their culture, but not enough for us not to be insensitive when we speak, but them too the same. Yeah. So it's very much equivalent.
Well, getting back to
Tri-County,
Tri-County Regional Black Chamber of Commerce, time being of the essence. That is our focus. Our focus is on a culture that has not had access or immediately access and didn't know how to maybe go get that access, right, or gain access. So that's why we say Tri-County Regional Black Chamber of Commerce. This is United States of America.
Right.
We do not discriminate.
No.
We have other small businesses who are from different culture, and we have to understand and get a little information from them so we know how to pull out the information for them to be able to ask the question that we can help them, and we do.
Yeah. I'm glad that we had this conversation, though, because I was also approached. They were like, well, where's the 3 counties? And I was like, hold up. Per region, 3 counties. You have to look at it that way. And I'm glad that you were able to elaborate on why you chose to use the 3.
Yes. And
per county. I mean, per region for the 3 counties. And
right.
Because I feel good. You know why? Because I explained it correctly.
You explained it great.
Yes,
very good.
Indeed. So I was
very
like,
good.
yes, we're good at this. So this is good.
Yeah,
so
I'm
glad about
very
that.
Very good.
Look at you.
Well, you know, when
me.
we talked about the counties, you also know that we have access to our public servants. Not just 1 or 2 public servants, but the group of public servants, especially in the Southern District of Texas. So there's another.
Oh my gosh.
That's another acquiring and disseminating valuable business information.
See, that's what I like about this chamber is the fact that I don't have to go out and get every single partnership or relationship. I don't have to go out and build those relationships. I'm part of this chamber that has relationships, and I can say, okay, I'm interested in doing this.
If you go on our website, look at our strategic partners.
I know, they're lovely.
These are relationships that we've built over 15 years. Very, very deliberate.
Right.
And it took that kind of time to actually build those relationships.
Yes.
And they're relationships that's now, again, as you said, you don't have to worry, or you don't have to try and seek and figure out how to do it.
Right.
We've done it, and we can share all of our relationships with all of our members.
Right. But the one thing I would like to say is that even though you built a relationship, it is now I can lean on the relationship that you already had. However, my relationship with that partner is very much my relationship with that partner. And what I feel like that means is that it's my responsibility to build a relationship with a partner you've already had a relationship with. And that doesn't mean your relationship doesn't guarantee me any added benefits. It just opens up the door available for me to start a relationship of my own, I think.
Yes, that what you said is correct. However, it goes back to it's your business.
Right.
Yes, we've built the relationships to say we have members who can perform and provide any services that our strategic partners may be looking for. We would like that member to be ready, willing, and able
Right.
to participate.
Mm-hmm.
Because the strength of the chamber and its members is what keeps those relationships
Right.
going.
Yes.
Keeps those relationships confident.
Mm-hmm.
Keep those relationships in saying, who do we think of when we need something? Oh, call Tri-County.
Mm-hmm.
But if the members are creating relationships and they're not being accountable, or they're not really ready, willing, and able to do, then that relationship will not serve that member. But at the same time, we're very we're very confident of that. We want to know you want to know that you can perform,
Right.
because we are actually saying this person can perform.
So this is part of a membership has its responsibilities and
Membership has privileges and responsibilities.
Right. So the privileges that I get to be introduced to your partners.
Mm-hmm.
The responsibility is for me not to burn that bridge for you or me. That's why I'm saying.
Well, we're gonna burn you. We're gonna burn your bridge before you burn out.
Exactly. And so that's the point. That's what I'm trying to say, is that I'm hoping I'm getting it across, is that it's my responsibility as a business owner to say, I would like to have that, to have the introduction to your partner.
Mm-hmm.
But if me and that partner don't get along, that's on me. That's something on my side that I have to take care
you
of.
can't always predict the
This is
future,
true.
but you can always feel confident that the person you are referring
Mm-hmm.
has the ability to perform and provide what it is you're referring. If that is not the case, then you won't get that referral.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just,
I like it. But this is good. Membership has its privileges and responsibilities.
Right.
And so that is important to know.
Mm-hmm.
And I like that about that for sure. Okay, so let's talk about your new programs.
We call it Alliance.
Alliance
program. Alliance program is basically, if we would put it in another text, it would be considered teaming.
Oh,
yeah,
I like that.
It would be considered teaming.
Okay.
But you have to be aligned with the purpose of the program.
Okay, so I'm going to read this. I'm going to read the. I'm going to read a portion of this. This is a mission statement, right?
Yes.
So an Alliance program membership investment is a specific member program dedicated to providing business services such as one-on-one consultations, certification support, technical paperwork support, and pertinent training per member company in a particular industry, which includes but not limited to transportation, trucking, construction services, and special trades for the purpose of contract readiness and contract placement. So tell everybody what you were thinking about when you decided you were going to do this.
Well, it wasn't so much as I was thinking it. When you are involved over 15 years,
right,
you see a lot of things happening.
Yes.
You see a lot of things not happening.
Exactly.
And you're very observing of what is actually going on.
Mm-hmm.
And as a mentor, you want to be able to give the right guidance and right direction.
Mm-hmm.
And we know that there's a lot of work. COVID has not stopped the work.
Right.
It has mostly changed the way things are being done, but it's not stopping what's being done. And so this was an opportunity. This just didn't happen. It just didn't come about. It's been in the works for a period of time, maybe 4 or 5 years, because we have people that are so, when we talk about small business, you know what the difference between small business and big business?
$30 million.
Well, to me, $30 million has never been a big difference. It's $30 million.
I know. That's why I'm like, oh my, so confused.
Well, that's SBA, Small Business Administration.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to throw you off, but no, that's what I.
But no, they have this. They have their guidelines as to what a small business is.
Okay.
But in most cases, a small business is usually a one owner who have maybe a group of employees or a group of contractors that work with them, and they're highly skilled in what it is that they do.
Okay.
And so what happens is when you're looking at let's say a construction site, you can have a person who put in drywall,
Right.
carpentry, see foundation. Somebody just put the wood in. I don't know nothing about construction other than the words I've heard. But you got people doing different things.
Mm-hmm.
And if there's a major contract out there for this particular project, then we know that we have members who can actually come together and perform on that project.
Right.
Okay? Same with even with trucking. What we find in the trucking industry is that your contractors who are doing construction are going to need trucking.
Mm-hmm.
You got to bring something in and take it out.
Right.
It's they got to dig up something. If they dig up something, what are they going to do with it? Somebody got to take it off.
Right.
Then they need to bring something back. Somebody got to go get it and bring it back. And what happens is they're needing 50 to 100 trucks on a lot of these larger projects. And
Right.
especially you've seen all the road construction going on.
Yeah.
And you see, every time you see road construction in the magnitude of you've seen it, you see these trucks.
Yeah. Makes me
Okay,
cry.
they're going down the road. So what happens is they're saying, well, we don't want to deal with 50 different owners
Right.
of trucks,
Mm-hmm.
because that means that we have to have just somebody sitting there dealing with these 50 different people.
Right.
We prefer to deal with
One.
a company
Mm-hmm.
that can provide 50 trucks.
Right.
So what does that mean? How do we, let's say, evolve to a process
Right.
where we can provide what is needed with less interaction with all the truckers?
You're working smart, not hard. So the point is that you found a way and figure out how to pull everybody under one umbrella and be able to execute what as one.
Yeah,
versus
because the
execute
job
as
has
many.
to be done.
Right.
And if the job, again, ready, willing, and able to perform.
There you go.
So if that means you're going to be, let's say, teamed up,
Mm-hmm.
we do have to know.
Right.
That
If
you
you
are
are ready, willing, and
Right.
able.
And
So,
so
like
this
this-
is why we say contract ready. So
That's
the
right.
alliance, it says contract ready
Yep.
because the alliance program is actually one to where you're going to be groomed,
Yes.
you're going to be ready,
Mm-hmm.
but you got to be willing. So if you're willing, you'll be in that program, and then we will help you to become able and ready.
So that's like the question on for unemployment. Were you willing and able to go to work? So as long as you're willing and able to go to work under the alliance, then the part of that is just to put you to work.
Because there's and when we're talking about able,
Mm-hmm.
well, let's go back to ready.
Ready.
There's certain things that has to happen.
You have to have
Certain
a
things that take
checklist.
place.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we have to look at vendors who can qualify to be certified in certain areas.
Mm-hmm.
So this is what we do to assist those different companies to be ready to be on these contracts.
I agree. I like it. So look, you see me pick it up. I was like, it says contract readiness and contract placement. So that's always good. I really like this. This is an opportunity for a lot of different people,
Mhm.
smaller companies, to kind of start to get their resume or capability statement to kind of beef it up a little bit.
Mhm.
To say, these are the contracts that I've been on, or these is, and just kind of give it some type of track record to show so that they can build their way up to being
We're going to pull it out of them. Because there's something called a capability statement.
Right, exactly.
And in order for us, so nothing is going to be, oh, I do this and I do that.
No.
Let's see it on the
Let's
paper.
see it on paper.
Let's see what you're capable of doing. And this way we can provide you with a way for you to even see it.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes people have no clue of all the things they can do.
Yes, that is true.
They're thinking of one or two things,
Mm-hmm.
but not.
But when you start asking them questions, then it starts to come out. My
Yeah.
mom always
Yeah.
talks about,
Yeah.
You want to know, you want to see how
Yeah.
far you've gotten, turn around and look at how far you've traveled.
Look at
Because
it.
people don't pay attention to that.
No, don't they? Because we get involved in what we're doing,
Right.
and we just don't think back. But it's not so much as thinking back; it's building
Right.
on your area of expertise.
Yeah.
That goes back to something I was gonna mention. Back to capability statements.
Mm-hmm.
We need to where it says technical
Mm-hmm.
paperwork.
Yes.
We know that a lot of times when the person is working and feel like they don't have time or they don't really that's foreign to me, I don't understand it, then we're saying that you don't have to understand it.
Well,
we understand. We need to know if you can perform,
right.
and we need to know if you're ready. We're going to get you to that readiness place, but you got to be willing.
Yeah.
So that's what the alliance part of it. You're willing to align yourself with other industries,
Mm-hmm.
other owners in
Other
your
owners.
industry,
Mm-hmm.
to be able to now. You're going to be working. You're going to be on contracts together.
Right.
What does that mean?
So that would be great because I mean I like it. I like it because a company that has 5 trucks and wants to grow to 15, this is a good opportunity for them to be able to do that because they get to be on a contract to get the revenue that will be able to feed their business in order to grow it.
Think about it.
Mm-hmm.
If you have 5 trucks and you're part of multiple contracts,
Right.
do you need to get 15? No. You just keep working
Yes.
with everybody else.
Right.
And you start to accumulate because now you have these 5 trucks and you got 5 contracts because you got 1 truck on each contract.
This is true.
And then you're what you're doing at that point. You got 5 trucks. You know you got to have drivers, right?
Right.
Well, you may want to, you can increase,
Yes.
but look at what you're doing. You're creating jobs.
Yes, and you're keeping people employed, so then that's less likely for them to return back to unemployment. But we talk a lot about the Trucking Alliance.
Mm-hmm.
But can we talk a little bit about the Contractors Alliance?
Well, that's basically the same thing.
So we're still doing the same
It's
thing.
the same thing. If you are you're what they call a masonry,
Oh.
carpentry, HVAC, plumbers.
Really?
We want you to be involved because remember I said if there's a big commercial construction project,
Right.
we can have every aspect of that project to where we have a member or members who's providing everything. So now you got what you have now is a prime or general contractor
Mm-hmm.
who doesn't have to find all the other contracting services and can bid on
Mm-hmm.
a contract and be able to perform it.
Right.
And that company bills. It's not a secret as to how money is being made. It's a lack of information on how that money is being made. So it'll appear to be a secret.
Right.
But if you know how it's done, most construction companies got to have subcontractors.
You know, I'm telling you, I like talking to you, especially in these type of forums, because I think I just got it's like a visualization. Mm-hmm. I just visualized exactly what you're talking about. So when we were talking about trucking, it was just trucks. I could only just see trucks because on 288, we're just so miserable down there.
Okay.
So all we see are trucks. But now when I mentioned about contractors, I just never thought that those same trucks were actually going to build sites.
Yeah.
But then I think about on the corner where they're building a new self-storage.
Mm-hmm.
And so that means there's a lot of trucks that are going in there as well when it was time to drop the materials off or when it was time to dig that ditch. And so this whole, I get it.
Somebody's building something.
Synergy.
Yes.
I did not. I don't know. But was it?
The key is
I'm
willing.
slow.
No. If you did not know, so without information, you would not be able to start assimilating in your mind. Oh, that's how that works.
Yes.
You got to have information.
Yeah.
Okay. The key for the Alliance program is the member has to be willing.
Yes, very much so. And I have met some people who, because of the technical side of things, in the paperwork,
Mm-hmm.
they, one, don't have the time to put it together
Mm-hmm.
themselves, and
Mm-hmm.
two, they just don't understand the nuances into the applications or into the process to do that.
And the alliance removed that.
Yes, and that's why I was like, okay, so I get it. Because somebody contacted me yesterday and they were like, well,
Mm-hmm.
I just don't. I was like, okay.
Okay.
We'll figure it out. That's all right. All right, well, this is cool.
There's
I like
one
that
other
plan.
program that falls into the new programs, and that is Mentor Protege.
Mentor protege. Oh, yeah, okay. So tell me a little bit about that. Because I need to understand that
Well, the
one.
state of Texas has a Mentor Protege program.
Oh, they do?
Yeah, it's the state of Texas.
Okay.
And each agency has a different way of how they perceive that program to work.
Mm-hmm.
But we work with those agencies that will assist, or let's just say who we go to and say we have a member, small business, that wants to be a protege
Okay.
to one of your prime contractors who could be a mentor.
Okay.
Now understand, this prime contractor is not out there to grow this person's business or to do their business,
Privileges and
but
responsibilities.
responsibilities. But they are there to kind of give some guidance in particular areas.
Mm-hmm.
And so this is where we have to work with the member to help them determine what are the areas of mentorship they really, really need.
Okay.
Because no one's going to do it for you.
Right.
They're not going to do your work for you.
No.
But they can provide you with guidance, and they can provide you with access. Again, you have to be willing to be in the program.
I think those are good. I mean, I think mentor. So this is a good way. That's a good way to actually turn around and pay it forward, to actually help somebody else.
Yeah, you can. If you want to be a mentor,
Mm-hmm.
you can be a mentor. But we're looking at it from the commercial area, from prime contractors
Oh, okay.
being mentors
Oh, okay, okay.
to a smaller company that they could give access to a contract, a job site, and then they can, provide guidance and information based on what that protege needs may be.
Oh, okay.
And just one or two needs, not
The whole entire
I'm gonna be your protege, so you gonna give me everything and show me everything. No, that's not how that program is gonna work.
I get it. It's like an apprenticeship, but there. So
yeah, similar.
But yes, I guess it would
Similar.
be something I can wrap my head around a little bit.
Let's say I'm a big prime contractor, so I'm going out getting what we call contracts over $50 million.
Okay.
Okay. And you are a small business coming along, but you basically have your business is it has some synergy, or let's say a relationship with my business. So I'm gonna use engineering firms.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
I can equate to that.
Okay, I'm a big engineering firm, and you're a small engineer with your own business. And you have an expertise in area what your discipline is. However, there's maybe something that you are not exposed to yet. You were when you were going through the theory,
Right.
but now you need the application.
Mm-hmm.
Then in this particular area, then I would be willing to bring you on, to provide you with access to some of the contracts that we do, and give you the guidance to expose you in that area.
Nice. I like it.
You got it. That's the
that's a
mentor
good
protege.
I like that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I want one. I'm not in construction or anything, but I like
You'd be surprised.
Yeah.
You look at who are the major players in the arena that you're in.
Right.
And then you decide, you know what, that company can help expose me to more of how certain things work. And so what we do is we contact that company. Of course, we have to have capabilities. We have to have everything. You have to be ready.
You right? Got to be ready.
If you're not ready, we're not going to make that relationship.
connection. Yeah.
Right. Because, again, it's important for us to be able to say we have a member who's ready, willing, and able. And they say, we know you do. Send them over. That's what we have to have.
Right.
We don't want them to say, well,
Last one you sent me was not good.
Yeah, we don't want to ever hear that. Never, ever, ever. Okay?
I agree.
So this is why if you want to go through that mentor, which is part of our Alliance program again,
Mm-hmm.
you can go through the mentor protege program, but we have to get you ready.
This is so important. Oh man, I'm excited about this one. I don't think I truly understood what that meant, but it actually shows. It actually is a really good way to kind of get somebody's feet wet, and not be overwhelmed by what can come by having
It's exposure.
Yeah,
it's exposure. It's a true mentor protege relationship. The protege has it.
Mm-hmm.
The protege is able.
Right.
The protege must be willing.
Yeah.
For me to be able to say, okay, I'm a mentor. You're willing to learn this particular thing.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to help you.
Right.
Because we're going to bring you on, again, in a sense of apprenticeship, but it's actually, we're going to bring you on as a sub.
Right.
And we're going to show you how this works.
Yes, and because
how this particular thing works.
Because so I think that's really important, because there's a lot of people who just don't know or understand it, and if somebody else has already walked that path, this is what I had to do in order to get there. And then once you take it on, you understand that this is a chute, you got to go.
Right.
But
again, they're not going to
do
your business.
No, you have to figure this out.
And they're not trying to build your business.
Right.
So don't think that you're going to get there and they're going to say, oh, well, you do this, we do this. No.
There are people out here who believe that. I don't know why.
Well, there's people who maybe haven't been exposed to certain things to where they had to go and do it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like I often tell share the story about when I was in Girl Scouts. We were in camp, and I'm like, I want to get in that water. I don't want to learn how to swim.
Oh, Lord.
And they come behind you and just push you. Now, you don't know that they're going to save you, but so you start doing something to save you. You start flapping and kicking, because now you're in that water. What do?
You have to fight to survive, because you don't know what's going to happen.
Exactly. But once you hit that water and they pull you out, then you realize, that wasn't too bad.
So I can go and do it again.
Yeah. Because we get timid based on things that we don't know or understand.
Yeah, we don't know what the outcome's going to be, so we're like, nah, maybe not. And that's one of the reasons why a lot of people don't open up businesses.
I don't even think it's that we don't know what the outcome. We just scared.
Yeah. Well, mostly for me, personally, when I'm scared to take that step, because I'm like, well, wait, what's behind that door exactly? You know?
No, but you know what? You got to take that step to see what's behind that door.
And I did that. And look, and as I turn around and look behind me, I got 6 years under my belt.
Okay.
So that's really weird, because when I first started, I was like, oh my gosh, what was I thinking? But then as I go through this process, I get enthralled in it. And so therefore I can't recognize what's happening. Yeah. And then now I have to, every once in a while, I got to turn around and look around and say, okay, where am I?
Exactly.
And what could have happened? And,
let me open this door. See,
yeah.
You know, it's amazing. You remember Let's Make a Deal? I think that's what it is. They have door 1, 2, and 3.
Oh, yeah.
And you have to pick your door.
Oh, my God.
And I'm like, it was so cruel. Now, I was a youngster. And I'm like, well, if they pick door 3 and that's their pride, why are you trying to make them feel bad about door 1 and 2?
Well, this is where you could have had.
Yes, because but door 1 had this big, beautiful sports car, and door 2. So, did it really matter? Because that's the prize you got.
Right.
You picked door 3, and you got a year's worth of soda.
That's all right. We can sell it out of our trunk.
Right. Okay. And then door 2 was a new living room set or something, and door number 1 was this beautiful sports car. So I asked the question, did they switch them?
Oh, really? Mm-hmm.
Yeah, did you really win the sports car?
No.
No, but did you really? Because you picked door 3.
Mm-hmm.
Was the sports car really behind door number 3?
Yeah.
You
I
follow me?
always wonder about that.
I have
I
always.
always wonder. I'm like, okay, so is it real? I mean, for ratings purposes, did you just?
Yeah, because I never understood why they wanted to show you what you missed out on. You missed out on the who. It didn't matter.
It's the fear of missing out. So it's to let you know. So you know what? That's such a great point, because when you do the things like that, it's actually saying, I need you to feel bad about the decision that you made.
Yeah.
But it shouldn't be.
No.
That was your decision.
Exactly.
And the outcome is going to be the outcome regardless. So whatever was
Exactly.
behind that door, the outcome is that. So you
Yeah.
got a year's worth of
Yeah.
soda, and so good. So
That's it. And you can be excited
about
that year's worth of soda because you did not have it.
Oh my gosh, this is a
You
setup.
understand what I'm saying? You did not have that year's worth of soda, but now you're comparing that year's worth of soda
Mm-hmm.
to the living room suite and the sports car,
Yeah.
which you didn't pick
Yeah.
because you didn't have a choice. Now, if they say behind door number 1 is a sports car, what you gonna do?
Yeah, then I would choose the sports car if I
right.
wanted a sports car.
But now you don't know. But whatever door that you decide to open
Mm-hmm.
or choose,
Yep.
that's the door you should be very grateful for. That's the door you should be excited about
Yeah.
because that was something you did not have
Before
that you got.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't matter what the rest of it was at all.
I
So,
never thought about it that way.
and this is why it's hard for us to make decisions.
Yes.
I'm not going to say decisions, but it's just it's hard sometimes for a certain culture.
Mm-hmm.
You see what you see what you don't have,
Right.
as opposed to what you have.
Yeah.
And so this is why for us, we have to say, all you got to do is be willing.
Mm-hmm.
We'll help you get ready. And when you get when you get ready, you're able.
Right.
So willing, ready, and able.
Okay, so I'm going to share a little bit of my belief. So I normally refer to all of the people, not all of them, but a lot of people older than me, as a silver team. Okay,
Silver team.
the silver team.
What?
Got to rock the white
Silver.
hair.
Oh, that's what that means.
The silver team.
I thought it had something to do with diamonds and stuff.
I know.
Okay.
Only if we could only all be there.
Okay.
But I call you guys the silver team.
Mm-hmm.
I have so much respect
Mm-hmm.
for all of the baby boomers on the planet.
Okay.
I think that for me, I love when I'm able to sit and talk to you, to my mom, to other people in that group,
Mm-hmm.
because you guys have so much knowledge and understanding that we do not have visibility to. So for me, I do not have visibility to the 50s, 60s, and the 70s.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't have, because I don't have that understanding, I have to lean on the understanding of someone else.
Okay.
And I'm a firm believer of, if we do not access the experience and the brain power that you guys hold, we are going to definitely be at a loss when it's our turn to kind of carry the baton to the next place.
Okay. Okay.
And so I love talking to you because I get to see different viewpoints, or I get to see a different way of looking at things
Mm-hmm.
that I would not have figured out on my own, because I don't have that understanding. So I like the fact that you were able to bring it to the point where, in that, like, let's make a deal type of a situation.
Mm-hmm.
This whole entire time, like, we're thinking it's just a game, but it's almost, to a certain degree, I can take from it, it's a conditioning thing to always make you feel like you are making the wrong decision.
Mm-hmm.
So not every decision that we make when we're moving forward always comes with this apprehension that's kind of built into who we are,
Mm-hmm.
based on this, say, okay, well, you chose door number 3, which is a year's worth of soda,
Mm-hmm.
but you could have had this car had you chosen right. So that's a way of saying that your decision is not a healthy decision, but
Right.
we had something better for you and you didn't even take the cues,
Yes.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So that knowledge doesn't come from me just sitting and evaluating or logically trying to dissect a
Mhm.
game show or anything else. It
Mhm.
comes from having a an intentional conversation with someone who has more experience and more knowledge in certain areas that I can lean on.
Yeah, and this is why we have the mentor protege, because you have major, big companies,
right,
that can pass information on to you.
Yeah.
That's the mentor protege project. But at the same time, thank you for acknowledging the fact that baby boomers have basically kind of been given the name baby boomers. What on earth does that mean?
Well, it'd be the same like thought process of millennials and centennial. I don't understand that, but whatever.
Yeah, but we
call us what you
when
want.
I asked, somebody told me, oh, because after the war, there was a bunch of babies born.
Oh, really?
And we're those babies that were born. Let's see, there was what it was called, the Korean War or something like that.
Oh, the Korean War.
Something. Anyway, they may have been World War II.
Yes, I think it was II.
And then there was a Cold War or something like that.
So just like, so what are they going to call the babies that are born now? Because they're COVID babies. Right?
I heard a little it was from one of my Belizean friends, and they said the babies that were born in between March and June have no birth certificates. Because they were immaculate. because there was no relationship. People couldn't get together.
Oh,
so they said, we'll have no birth certificate. You get it?
I get you.
I may have not said it as the way it was put to me, but
oh my God!
I thought that was
immaculate
cute.
Conception.
Yeah, because so they don't have a birth certificate because they don't know who the daddy is, none of that. But anyway. Getting back to, as you call the silver teams.
Silver team.
We were.
That's sexy.
Well, okay. We were the group that after the war. Now you don't know, but before the war, it was called the Industrial Age.
Okay.
Okay, and then that's when people started, developing industries. After the war, it became packaged work.
Okay.
So this is where you had the corporate concept.
Okay.
Where you're hiring people, instead of people doing things and being contracted to do them, now they become employees. So it allowed us to have an opportunity to be exposed to other things, other people, other cultures, and we were trained to provide something. Of course, at the time in Black America, it was called "a mind is a terrible thing to waste," and so the colleges at that time we were booming, bringing back information. The one thing that I saw, and I didn't quite understand it. And maybe today I still don't truly, I understand something, but it's I think it's for individual. But I remember a lot of my friends graduating from college and working at Foley's.
What is a Foley's?
Foley's is like a Macy's.
Okay.
Working at Targets.
Okay.
Pennies.
Yeah.
And I'm like, is that what you went to college?
We're asking that same question of a lot of.
Because you could just go apply for a job.
Mm-hmm.
Did you have to be a college grad? What was the purpose of going to college? Now that is what people needed to know.
Mm-hmm.
And what I'm seeing, and I really appreciate it now. More people are going to college for a purpose.
Right.
To be able to come out and put their shingle on the door and say, this is what I do.
Mm-hmm.
As opposed to, I'm going to college for a job.
Right. Yes. We're very intentional with our education. I was extremely intentional. I was like, I'm going to go and do this.
Yeah.
I'm going to do this for a period of time to determine if I want to do this for the rest of my life.
Yeah. Well, you should be educated. Even growing up, you get education. And I a lot of times say a lot of education. Book is one thing. Theory is one thing.
This is true.
but application
Something totally
is
different.
totally different. So if you get the theory, don't forget that you have to apply it.
Yep.
And you can't apply something if there's nothing there for you to apply it to.
Right. I agree.
Okay, so you have to remember, life educates you.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
People educate
Education.
you.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, the books are good, but but now if you're gonna be a doctor, you got to cut on. If you're gonna be a surgeon,
Mm-hmm.
you got to cut on something.
Yep.
You don't come out of medical school and not know how to cut something
Yes, this is true.
or remove something.
And
So
everything.
you have to experience it.
Yes. Everything outside of the book, there has to be an experience to
It's
it.
got to be an
and
experience.
absolutely. I 100% agree with that. Okay.
I think we've covered everything. Don't
I
forget
know.
about the inauguration.
Right. So the inauguration for Jasper is going to be November 14th.
Right. And I
So-
just want to add, in that inauguration, we are going to recognize our board members are going to be sworn in.
Okay.
Our advisory board members will be sworn in. And then we will be recognizing our lifetime charter members for the Jasper, for Region 4, and charter members that we had a lifetime program available up until Saturday.
That's pretty
This
cool.
coming this Saturday.
This
So
coming Saturday.
it'll be over. But we will be recognizing those people. And of course, we have a flag will be flown
Nice.
over the state of Texas. We will have a proclamation from the governor's office. And we're inviting our public servants just to
Yes.
officially bring in Region 4.
Okay, so what I'm going to say is thank you very much for your 15 years of bringing this chamber to what it is today and able to see the vision of where it's going for the next 5 to 10 years. Okay, so I really
You're
appreciate
welcome.
the fact that you were able to
Well,
do
we
that.
appreciate the people who were involved.
Right.
Because we would not be here 15 years
Yes.
if we didn't have members.
Right.
And people who've come and people who have gone for different reasons to different places.
Right.
So we thank them too.
Yeah. So my point of saying that is for two reasons. One is that if you are a member and you have not told your other business partners or your friends who have businesses about Tri-County Regional Black Chamber, I would like to ask why. Because anybody I've known in business, I have actually spoken a lot about this chamber too. And so because this chamber offers something totally different than my experience has offered me when I was out there looking. So my question is, you got 15 years of experience here. You have a lot of people who have been able to succeed in their businesses because they understood that with their membership came their responsibility and their privileges, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they were able to grow that. So I would challenge anybody who's listening to ask the question, what do you need to know from the chamber in order to get you in the door to come and spend time with us? So go to tcbcc.org for more information about the chamber on how to join. And if you need to be able to call and ask a question, you can always call 832-875-3977. Tell a friend, tell your neighbors, tell another small business, because at the end of the day, we need community because people are what keep us in business.
Mm-hmm.
We don't keep ourselves in business because we're not an island. So we do need we need the other support. So I wanted to be able to say that. So we have the alliances that anybody has the opportunity to join. The meet and greet is October 24th for Fort Bend. So go ahead to the website, go under events, look for the meet and greet for Fort Bend, and come and join us and hang out there and meet some other business
we have
members.
we have a member.
You
It's
remember?
called Berganic Hub.
Yes.
I hope I pronounced that correctly.
I know they could make at least there's vowels in this one.
Well, he's also we're doing a meet and greet, meet the member.
Mm-hmm.
So he has this wonderful food. We've seen the pictures and we just can't wait to go there and grab some food. But there will be food, there will be door prizes, and a lot of fun. And it is going to be October 17th.
Oh, October 17th.
And it's also on our
Yes.
website under events. And it's from 11 to 2. So there's going to be a lot of things going on. And this is the beginning of showcasing our members. Plus, our members are going to be we'll be showcasing them on podcast as well.
Oh, right. That's right. So we're going to have, so we do have run a special for the podcast. If you want to have your banner on the podcast, it'll be $25, but you're gonna go ahead and go to the website and check out as far as getting you on the podcast. You can come and sit and hang out with me for an hour, talk about your business and your experience with the chamber.
I don't know if they can hang with you for an hour, Tabitha.
Okay, well then hang with me for 30 minutes. It's not bad. It's a good seat. But other than that, we're pretty good. We got the alliances, new programs, meet and greet, inaugurations, and the fact that people can come and hang out with us on the podcast and actually have their banner listed here.
Right.
So I thank you very much for hanging out with me.
Thank you for letting me hang out with you today.
It's always awesome. I learn something new every time. So I always let people know when the right connection matters. Connect to the right network. Tri-County Regional Black Chamber. We're going to go ahead and thank our two sponsors. Southwest Airlines is a proud air travel sponsor of Tri-County Regional Black Chamber of Commerce. And we'd also like to thank Premicore Business Solution. If anybody's interested in coming and taking a look at the chamber, make sure to check out the chamber, tcbcc.org. Or go ahead and give a phone call to 832-875-3977. We can answer more questions about what you may have out there. If you're interested in a podcast or a radio spot or a television show, go ahead. We're always here on gmtradio.com. So head over there and check out what they have available.
I think they have an app available.
Oh, now I know.
Yeah, we're gonna send the information out to our members. So now they just take their phone and
yes, you can listen to the broadcast every Friday at 10:30 a.m. here at GMT Radio. So
also, just I know I'm coming from the background, but also we want to let them know that they'll be able to access your visual, your podcast from the app too. They'll be able to access.
You get to see us live on Fridays at 10:30 a.m. on the app GMT Radio.
Not live on the app, but they'll be able to see like the previous show.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
cool.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. And if you miss us, we're always on the website will have the video on Wednesdays. So you can always follow up, and if you want to listen to it again, go and head over to tcbcc.org for the podcast, and you'll be able to see the latest updates on Wednesday.
And we'll send we're going to be sending that information to our members for them to download the app.
Yes. So, so this is really cool. We have a lot of great things going. So everybody have a great and glorious weekend. And always remember, when the right connections matter, connect to the right network. Tri-County Regional Black Chamber. Everybody have a great day.